Okay, so we're ready for Friday, which I know stresses some people out. What we're going to do, we're going to try it out. Okay, so you can see what we have up here. Pay a lot of attention to Monday and Tuesday because it tells you where everything goes on Friday. So I look at this. Subject and verb. That's the basic sentence. I know I'm going to have that. Here's one with a subject, verb, and a direct object. I didn't have any direct objects. See, I can always see that. Predicate adjective, I didn't have any. Interrogative with a predicate noun, no. Helping verb and a verb transitive, well, I did have a verb intransitive, but I didn't have a direct object. But this shows me if I have a prepositional phrase, which I didn't have any. I did have an article, I'll hang that off of wherever it goes. Indirect object, I didn't have any of these things. Subject, verb, direct object, no. Subject, verb, infinitive, phrase with an object of the infinitive, I did not have that. Subject, verb, gerund, I did not have that. Subject, verb, intransitive, I did not have that. I'm sorry, I forgot you can't see. Sometimes I forget to look in that. So I didn't have a subject, verb with a participle and a modifier, no. With a gerund, no. With a positive, no. Compound parts. I did have compound parts because I had two different clauses. Connect independent clauses to the verbs, but I didn't have two independent clauses. I had a subordinate clause. So connect adjective and adverb dependent clauses to what they describe. So I am going to just, my dependent clause here, I'm going to connect it to the verb of this one because I already said it describes it. But the only thing I didn't find was an infinitive. I found an infinitive phrase here. And, oh, look, I missed it right here. If it's just an infinitive, it looks just like a prepositional phrase. Okay? So I'm going to draw the lines in using this, my help pages, and this. So I know this first one, I had a subject and a verb. So here's my lines. I know I didn't have a direct object or an indirect object, or a predicate adjective or an indirect object. I know I had an article that described the noun, so it's going to get a line. I know I had, let's see, my verb's going to go there. I had an infinitive, and I know from looking at this page right here that an infinitive looks just like a prepositional phrase. So I'm going to do my prepositional phrase type line. I call that a dog leg. Okay, and then I'm going to need to connect this whole clause to the verb. So I'm going to do my dotted straight line, and it's going to go to my other verb. So then I have subject and verb again because I know I had them. That'll go on there, and in is where he came, so that's an adverb describing the verb. So those are the lines I'm going to need. Okay? If you need to, you've got the lines now. Pause it and go try to fill them in on your own, and then come back when you're done. Okay, so hopefully you tried it on your own now, and now I'm going to put them in. I know a subject goes here, so I'm looking for my subject. Ah, master. I know the verb goes here. Now, had isn't labeled verb here, but I know that had was a helping verb right from up here. So had retired goes here. Okay, this was going to be my infinitive, so I've got to rest. Oh yeah, the describes master. The master had retired to rest. I've got the whole first half on there. Before, I know that's a subordinate conjunction, and when I look at my clauses, you write them on that dotted line. So before goes there. Subject and verb again. Subject, verb. We came in. And now Friday's complete.